I am the furthest person you'll ever get from a conspiracy theorist. It is always, in my mind, a cock-up, not a conspiracy. And when people say, oh, there's some big plan to turn us into China and they're all going to watch everything that we do, I sort of roll my eyes and think, yeah, put the foil tin hat on. There are some developments in the last couple of days that are incredibly worrying for me. And I think will be worrying an awful lot of my listeners as well. Let's just go back to the beginning here. There was talk about having a vaccine passport for us to be using domestically. And then there was talk about having a vaccine passport, a way of proving your vaccine status to be able to travel abroad. I don't have an issue with that second one. You download the NHS app. It's going to show you've had your vaccines. Not so much an issue. I'd rather have it on a piece of paper, frankly. But, I can understand that. A lot of people saying they wouldn't have it for domestic use. The government said, oh, these are separate things, don't worry. The development in the last couple of days tells us that's not the case. What's happened?
Well, I completely share your concern and worry about this. I'm extremely worried about it. And if the question is there a big plan for COVID passes? Yes, there absolutely is. I mean, it's just irrefutable now. And I actually think it's been in place for many, many, many months. And the government has been barefaced lying about it. And this is a really this is a point that cannot be escaped. We have ministers on record saying last year, at the end of last year in November, there are absolutely no plans for vaccine passports. It's not going to happen. And at that time, they were actually signing contracts for tech companies to develop them.
Multi-million pound contracts. Yeah.
Absolutely. And where we are today is that we're still in this kind of twilight zone where the government is pretending that they are having a review, they're thinking about it very seriously. Michael Gove is scratching his head. And meanwhile, the COVID vaccine status function has been put onto the general NHS app. And if you read the privacy notice, it says, this data will be useful for further aspects of unlocking as they arise, e.g. attendance at domestic events. This is a matter of constitutional significance. We have never had IDs in Britain. We don't have internal passports. We don't want internal health passports. The Conservative government knows that a lot of their own backbenchers are up in arms about this. In fact, there's well over the amount needed to execute a rebellion if needed.
And also, of course, the Labour Party has, they've criticised it but then sat on the fence. But if the Labour Party joined them, then that would be defeated. Can I just clarify, though, what's happened again? So the vaccine passport, again, my mum downloaded it, ready to go on holiday. Yes, one of those naughty Amber List people. Oh, isn't she terrible? After her double jab, to prove that she's got her double vaccine, and so she can get into France. But now it's been updated, and these apps, most people just click on, it just update automatically. It's updated to add a lot of other things. Now, special category data has been added. So information relating to the individual's physical or mental health condition, not just related to vaccinations. Information relating to the family. This is what's written on the app. I'm not making this stuff up. Information relating to the family of the individual and the individual's lifestyle and social circumstances is on the app. Information which relates to the ethnic origin of the individual. Information relating to the genetic biometric details where processed to uniquely identify an individual, and criminal convictions or alleged criminal behaviour. What the hell has any of that got to do with proving whether you've had 2 jabs or not?
It's so alarming. It's so disturbing. I'm still actually in somewhat a level of disbelief about this, and we're trying to check this out with our legal team, because it's not clear where that data is coming from. Are they just using boilerplate language on this privacy notice? I don't know, but that's the problem. I mean, this is all being done by the back door with very little transparency. And it's really alarming. If they really are going to be collecting that kind of data, then, I think we've just got our head in our hands. But the thing is, also, this app, it is a direct link into your medical records. Yeah. And you are being expected
all of your medical records, not just
Absolutely.
Your vaccine status.
Yeah, so there is a lot of sensitive data. at stake here, that we are apparently now by the back door in a backroom decision that has not been subjected to any kind of democratic process at all. We're going to be expected to show this at civilian checkpoints internally within our own country, I guess starting at concerts and larger events. But that's really the starting point. I mean, how long is it before this becomes schools, colleges, universities, and all the rest of it? I don't think it's just going to be places that people are choosing to go, because where would the logic be?
Why do they think that we need this? This is the bit I've always argued. If it was just about the vaccines, if the vaccines work, then we don't need it because we'll have the herd immunity. If the vaccines don't work, there's no use to it. This isn't sci-fi stuff. This isn't sort of stuff out Minority Report or anything. We are talking about something that's already happened in China. I mean, we've taken far too lessons from China in recent years, in my view, anyway. But this is in China. People are required to have these apps on their phones. You can't do anything, and you get social credit. So if you're a good person, you do the right thing. You get more freedoms. They follow everything that people do, everything they spend, the taxes, every single thing that they do is followed by the government and controlled. This is unbelievably dangerous territory to go down.
Yeah, there's an interesting statement by the health minister in the Lords, Lord Bethell, who said that the app is part of an ambitious plan to change our relationship to our medical records. What does that mean? We also know that this is a government that's got an agenda for digital ID, and there's a digital ID framework being drawn up at the moment. They're supportive of facial recognition technologies. I mean, there are a lot of, if you're looking for Minority Report or China-style policies, wow, we've got an awful lot of them. I think the government's been learning a lot from China. Matt Hancock is someone who says that he loves technology. I don't think he's got a very good antenna for ethics and perhaps good use of technology. I think there is a very lazy way of thinking that anything that's on an app, anything that uses big data is a good thing, it's innovative. And sure, if you start seeing citizenry as cattle, then why wouldn't you want them to have digital IDs and force them to show their passes everywhere that they go? That's not the way that most British people want to live.
But and again, crucially, it completely changed our relationship with the government. They are there to serve us.